Hey guys, just finished watching Legend of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 8, Legend of Meow Meow. Oh my god. What a terrible episode. It has a 9.3 here on IMDb. Wow. Okay, clearly IMDb is not a good place to use, at least for this show, to get an gauge as to what it is, because this is just, oh my god, this was a terrible episode. So, this whole episode is pretty much, we got Charlie, Constantine, and Zari kind of going back in time. Mostly it's Charlie and Constantine just going back in time, trying to, get what they want out of time, and it really never works and stuff. And so you got some fun plays and stuff as they go, oh, they changed something, oh, no, they changed something back, oh, they changed something back, doesn't work, oh, there's this problem, now there's that problem, now there's this problem, now there's that problem, and things are like, oh, cool, kind of fun. But this is the mid-season final. This is the big cliffhanger that we're going to wait until, a month until next for an episode, sometimes more than a month, like last year it was a while before we had stuff, so you need a huge cliffhanger for us to wait. Now let me see, I'm not sure when the next one is supposed to come out. Let's see, on the IMDb it says the next one, episode 8, the next one is supposed to come out, airs in April. Wait, no, it says April here. That can't be right. April can't be the next time. April 2019. Let's see the TV time. Is it April 2? Because if it's April, this is just retarded, like crazy stupid. 2018. Oh, it looks like we have maybe one more episode. Before, okay, looks like we have one more episode, so that'll be cool to see as to where things go with that. It should be on the 17th and stuff, so that could be interesting to see. It says there's one more episode here. We'll have to wait and see as to where things go. If it's, if we have to wait till April, and that's just kind of crazy. That would not work. The cliffhanger we have here is kind of weird. I'll try and put it in the video whenever we do have another episode. But this episode was just kind of terrible. Like, it was not really good at all. I mean, like I said, it was kind of fun, okay. I give this episode maybe like a 5 out of 10. Like, it was just kind of, okay, but just kind of nothing really happens too much, So we see Charlie kind of Jake's jump shit. He goes to the 60s, and we see that Ray, Mick, and Nate are the custodians of chronology and type thing. And that's kind of like, okay, you got these like cheesy kind of 80s, 70s, intros and stuff, TV intros. That was kind of fun a little bit. It was like, oh, cool. But nothing like, oh, wow. It was like, cool. A little snicker type thing, really. Nothing really kind of like awesome. Like, no, okay, cool. And then you find out that the magic cute. Then they find out that they're just killing magical creatures, and that's what they're doing most of the time throughout all this episode, because they never really meet Charlie, and they keep killing these creatures all the time. And then we find out they missed the crossover call. That was kind of interesting dealing with that. That's one thing that kind of getting me worried about this show. Is kind of pissing me off with the whole crossover. Is it going to affect this? Because they did some very big stuff. They messed with all kinds of reality and all that stuff. So it should affect this show too. And this show is going back and forth, changing stuff and all this stuff like that. And yet it's not affecting Arrow or Flash, And that's and not Supergirl on a different Earth, but it should affect Arrow and Flash. When Flash went back in time and he did the Flashpoint episode a few seasons back, it changed everything. It changed things on Arrow, Diggle had a son, now he had a daughter, or vice versa, right? And he had, so that was a little cool. Little things, it's like, oh, cool. You don't need to know what happened. You just need to know, yeah, Flash went back in time, changed things, and now Diggle has a daughter. It doesn't ruin the show, to not really know, to know more than that. That's all you need to know. So I think that would really be cool to see different things. It's like, oh, this has changed. Oh, that's changed. Legends again. Oh, Legends again. I think that would be really interesting, especially with Time Bureau in 2018. There should be some changes, and we did see Gary over during the crossover. So I think it would be cool to see if he has any memory of it. But then you also have this changes that's going on all throughout here, and it's like, I don't know, I just really didn't like this episode. So they missed the crossover, which is disappointing, but it was really cool. They had a lot to film in the crossover, and and all these extra characters is just a lot to handle with. we find that Sarah's dead, but then, they go back in time, they keep doing stuff that doesn't really matter, because at one point, everyone's dead, We find out that Constantine won't let Zari put everything back to normal, and break up with Desmond and stuff. He wants to spare Desmond, and not send him to hell type thing. But Constantine and Charlie end up killing the unicorn. They go back in time, save Sarah, and the guys end up being dead, and we have the sirens of space-time, and then that's when we get kind of... and then they do it again, try and save everyone, and they create the puppets, and then that's just where we just get a montage of different things and stuff. And then at the end, the only reveal we get is that Desmond is alive, or back is back and bad and evil type thing. So that was the cliffhanger for this episode. That's why I feel like hopefully this is, IMDb says the next episode's not until April. TV Time says we have one more episode on the 17th. Coming up, so I'll have to take a look and see as to which one is right. Hopefully we do have one more episode, because all the other shows, all the other shows, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, they all ended on episode 9 for their mid-season. So hopefully they have one more episode, because this was a terrible episode to end the season on. And if we're gonna have to wait till 2019 till April 2019, which would be crazy long. There's so many shows to watch. If you had, when you had back when Smallville was on, it was the only superhero TV show, a live action superhero TV show on TV. It had no competition. Go ahead, go as long as you want. In this day and age, when you have Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Gotham, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Gifted, Legion, the Netflix shows got canceled now, but there's so much competition out there, and you got Titans, Swamp Thing, Stargirl, all these stuff that are coming out. You cannot take such a long break like this. Just keep going. It's just there's too much out there to watch, and to forget about, and to keep track of. That having a big cliffhanger needs to have a huge cliffhanger that stands out on everything. And now they're even competing on the cliffhanger with the crossover. Now, if this is going to simplify it a little bit easier, because now the crossover that we just had this week for all the other shows in the CW is one cliffhanger for everyone, type thing that leaves where everything is left, right? I think that's really cool. We don't really have a cliffhanger to remember for every single person. We got little cliffhangers here and there on either of their shows, but we'd had the big crossover was the main cliffhanger, right? And I think that's really going to be cool to see as to kind of where things go with that. Whereas in this, it was not a crossover, so there was not a big cliffhanger. So I'm hoping that there's going to be one more episode, and that'll be episode 9. Should be the end in the crossover, and I'm going to say that I'd probably put my cards on that, and probably bet that it would be the one more episode before. Especially if we're gonna have to wait until April. I think because this was not a big enough ending for us to kind of wait till April for another episode. I think that would kind of be terrible. And if you watch the crossover and things are in there. Obviously, you've seen things like John Wesley Shipp back as his 90s Flash. I think it would also be cool at some point to see Brandon Routh back in his Superman costume. That would be so cool, and I think they could totally do it on here. I think that'd be really awesome to see him, a version of him in his Superman costume. If Tom Welling won't come back and put it on, maybe Brandon Routh would, and that would be really cool too. Dean Cain could put back his costume on. Helen Slater could maybe put her costume on. That would be really cool. But that's getting off topic for this video. So yeah, this episode was really kind of dealing with Constantine and his relationship. But the relationship, we only heard about this thing a while ago. We only heard bits and pieces about it. It wasn't a relationship that we followed or anything like that. So there's kind of very little to care about this relationship too much. It was cool back when he said it. It's like, oh, I sent him to hell and all this stuff. That's where he has his demons. That's why he's always kind of moping around and miserable. And I think seeing him deal with that is going to be cool to see what things play with. And hopefully they can bring it in and tie it into Sarah and her father being dead, because we still haven't heard anything about that. We're almost at the mid-season final, and we haven't played with the fact that her father died, and she was back in time did she get to see him? I don't think so. She was just in the hospital when he died, or when everyone was told on Arrow that he died. She didn't get to have an actual last words, talk to him to say goodbye, her to say goodbye to him. She missed it by that much, which I think it would have been cool to see her actually get some time in the last scene between, Paul Blackthorne and Sarah, because they haven't had scenes in a long time, probably since the beginning of, since the beginning of Legend of Tomorrow. I don't think we've seen Sarah and her father at all. So it might have been something during the crossover, but he only has very small one. He might have had one in the Dominators crossover that we had last year, but we'll wait and see. But they still haven't played with that, and she's always been bubbling, so hopefully she can use the stuff, she can relate to Constantine having to send his lover to, having to send Desmond to hell, to kind of her not being there for her father when he was dying type thing, or when he was, not getting, just missing him so much because of this stuff, right? And I think that was kind of, he's also a police officer, so he would have understand. So I think that could have been something that they could have played with, yet they're just not playing with it. But why are they not picking it up? It's just driving me crazy. What's the point of having her go over there and seeing that? I mean, it's her father. She needs to know about it and needs to play with that. Now, I know we've always had the kind of mopey Sarah and the, she's lost a lot and all that stuff, but we still need to play with it, You set it up on Arrow. We need to play with it. We need to deal with it and need to have it involved and have it be part of her character, and not like it never happened, acting like it never happened. She still has her father around, So, yeah, that is kind of making me mad. And the puppet thing in this episode, like, it was okay last episode, with the one puppet that was, like, magical and alive, and they're kind of fighting it. Yeah, cool. Like, and it would have been cool if they got, if they had Victor Garber back for the voice of it, but they didn't. And then here, everyone gets turned into puppets. That was just terrible. That was just kind of retarded. So I really didn't like it. Yeah, this episode was just, ugh. So just kind of a meh episode. It's okay. Forgetful episode, because not much happened in here. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.